Guys, if you have been thinking about giving up, this should be your last time to even think about it. It is exactly 3 months ago when everything in my life was just going south. Nothing was working out. But again, here I am, excited, telling you guys that you shouldn't give up on your dreams. So, guys, I'm going to tell you a story, a brief story about what has been happening onto my life and what exactly happened and what even changed. Like, I lost my job. And how did I lose it? I just woke up one day and I was like, I'm not going to do this job again. And I always had these stories when people were like, man, I was on my job, things were not working out well, and I just decided to quit. I watched all those stories and I was like, man, these people are lying. And just like Africans, we do not believe in stuff, not until it happens to you. So 3 months ago, I was at my workplace, and that is my daddy's workplace. Things were going on well. I was getting paid. And remember, I was like the operations manager. So I was receiving the money, I was taking care of the staff, the stock, everything in the business. I was all taking care of it. And that can just tell you that I was getting money. But that money that I was getting, I wasn't satisfied with it, because it was kind of little, and also it was consuming most of my time. So I wasn't concentrating on to learning. I wasn't concentrating on to doing my own stuff. And I'm this kind of person who is always interested into learning stuff and always following by my own rules. So I just woke up one day and I was like, nah, I'm not going to do this job again. And that's what I did. But then when I left that job, things hit hard on me. Things started working, like everything started going south. I left that job because I thought maybe Forex would work out. And I also thought that I could maybe put some money into my YouTube channel, get some equipment, and then start pushing that, to the next level. But again, none of that stuff worked out. The money that I had, I decided to invest it into Forex. And when I invested into Forex, you know what happened? I blew all that money and it had gone. So now I had some savings with my sister. I remember I explained all this stuff in my last video. If you didn't watch it, I'm just giving you, some little details. I told my sister to send me all that savings that I had. When she sent it to me, I thought I could maybe multiply that money through Forex. I invested into Forex. It was all good. So now I was back onto zero. But then I had restarted some project, and that was the beans project. I had grown some beans, and they were at a point where they were, about to be harvested from the garden. So when they got, to that point, I harvested, then got some money. When I received that money, you know what came to my mind? I just told myself that, you know what, Paul, leave your hometown and go look for somewhere better. And then packed all my stuff, pull out to town with no plan. My head was blank. I didn't know what I was going to do in town. I didn't know what I was even going to start with because I only had 70,000 in my pocket, and that included transport. So when I headed over to town, I think I remained with something like 30,000 or 40,000, and that had to carry me for a month. The whole of March, that was the money that I had to use. That was the budget. But then things, there is a way God pull out, does his stuff. You can never explain and you can never know what is going to happen next. So in that month, I remember my sister, helped me here and there and also gave me some deal, gave me a whole deal. That deal was about getting her a phone. It was a 13, an iPhone 13. So I went to the shop, dealt with the phone sellers, and then I got in some money. That money wasn't that much, but I remember I received something like 100K, which I used, to pay for my rent. And then also he had told me that maybe I should get some money from her, and of which I was supposed to use for the rent. And in total, I had around like 130,000 to use for that whole month, which I did manage very well, and I went through it. So then it came to the month of April. That's where things started changing. But before anything changed, I went through shit. I truly went through shit. Because that was the month where I had no income, you know, I had no job. I didn't know what to do. I was just there, you know, everything was just moving the way it wanted without me. But then I was like, maybe I should look for something to do, for myself. So then I contacted my sister and she was like, I have this TikTok account that I use to sell other people's stuff. Maybe you can try out, that same idea. And she was very good at me. She gave me her TikTok account. So I started selling stuff for other people, like people who have used this stuff, they send it onto me and then, I upload it to that TikTok account. When we get a buyer, like the buyer takes the item and then also he gives me some commission and also the seller gives me some commission. So that's the money that I use to carry me, through the month of April. So then May, that's when I managed to get a job. I was sleeping in my bed because I didn't have anything to do. And when I was there, I was watching TikTok. Then I saw a message, like a notification that so and so has uploaded a video. So when I clicked onto that, that post, I saw that there was a brand looking for a creative person. When I say creative person, here I mean someone who could take care of all their social platforms, starting from TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and so on. So immediately I pulled out my phone and I was on a call with this person. He told me that I'm not going to explain anything with you on the phone. What you should do is to just pull out and head over to the workplace and maybe we talk more about all the job details from here. What I did, I rushed and got a judge and hopped on to this guy's office. When I reached there, they just gave me a laptop and told me to edit a video. It was a long video for the YouTube channel. I edited the video and I think in like 5 hours, I was done with the video. And why I did it in 5 hours, it was because these guys, they had to give me a new laptop and I had to install the softwares. I had to get, all that stuff because the laptop was new. And from there, they just told me that, what, tomorrow, let's meet at the office and start working with us. So that's how I managed to get that job. And I think in like 2 weeks since I got that job, I managed to get a new phone. I managed to get a new phone in just 2 weeks of working with them. Then I had a laptop that I had to start working with, and which I'm even going to use to edit this video because now, I have something that can perform all my duties and everything that I have ever wished to work with. So I'm happy. I am now doing great. Things turned out the way they like. I never, I never thought I could do something like this. I never really knew that something like this could happen onto my life, and I'm truly glad that I am really working with this brand, and I am getting paid. I am getting paid the amount that I even never assumed I could ever get in my life. So, you guys, if I tell you that chasing your dreams can be hard, yeah, it can be hard, but the rewards that you're going to get from that, you will never imagine that you can ever get it. So, go do your thing. Just go concentrate. If you're going to learn, learn. If you're going to do anything, just go and do it, man. And I hope this message inspires you all and you keep pushing with whatever you're doing. Because when I was learning this stuff, man, I never thought I could do it, but I did. So thank you guys for watching this video. Hope to see you in my next video. My name is Kagoda Paul. Peace out.